Okay.
You'd said you talked about trading cards, and I told you my husband has some sports, like baseball trading cards, and you have somebody that can do those now. He said they're in packs of like 3 or 4 per pack or whatever. He has about 200 regular Major League Baseball ones, and then he also has a smaller box that's just Royals Kansas City Royals trading cards. So I just wondered if you still want those or could use those. He said they're about a size that could actually fit in a card too, if you're putting it with a regular card.
Okay. So I think with those, the ones that were multiple in a pack, like that one, you said 200 of those? Those?
Well, there's like 3 or 4 per each little pack.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, let me turn the lights on here. The sun's moving out. Because are those all Kansas City as well?
He has 200 that are just Major League Baseball. So they're a combination of teams, combination of whatever. Then he has separate ones that are only Kansas City Royals. So we could give you one or the other or both or whatever.
I'm thinking, because I think with those, the ones that are separate Kansas City, I think for sure, I'm thinking of the ones that are packages. I think those would, you can send them. I'm thinking of how we would, could send those to some of our partners. It's just with that, I'm trying to make sure we would have that, which one of our partners we would send those to. But because it's with some of the ones that we have now, Dave is working with one of his connections to help us be able to, some of them we are sending to people because we receive thousands of them. So some of them we are sending to people, and some of them we are selling to help us raise funds. Because that's one way that we're short, is not a lot of people are donating money to us. So we're using those cards to sell to help raise money. So we're using those cards in both ways. So
I don't know if you could sell these just because he works for the sports team, and they ordered them, and obviously it was a giveaway item, but since they had no fans, they couldn't give them away. But I don't think they can be sold because it might cause some kind of trouble. I don't know. I could ask it, and then if I send them to you, I can just write a note in there. Okay to sell, or please don't sell. Do you want me to do that?
So, because we have what is it? Because we have a big presence a stronger presence. I hope this doesn't offend you, but a stronger presence in St. Louis than Kansas City. I don't know if the rivalry is like that, but we do have a partnership in Kansas City as well. So I know we could send some of those to our partners there, then all around as well. So.
Well, the Kansas City Royals are actually located in Missouri. The Royals, the team, they're actually located in Missouri. But like I said, I don't have to send the Royals one. I can just send you the regular Major League Baseball ones, and that could go anywhere. So it's up to you. Just let me know.
Yeah, I think we'll discuss it. I think let me discuss it with Dave and Patrick, and then we'll follow up with that and make a call on that just to make sure.
Okay.
And then, but if you could check to see, and I'll look into check and see if there would be issues with us reselling them, and then I'll check and see about, because we're just now sending some cards to some children who are in like homeless shelters, and some children who are in some other like abuse places who we're sending them some like Christmas packages. And so, but that's in Georgia. And so I don't know if they're all Kansas City places, but we're sending those kind of gifts to places around the holidays. So
maybe the regular Major League Baseball ones would be better for that because it's got all the teams. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, just let me know.
you guys,
You want,
every now and then, just kind of remind me, like, EK is supposed to be looking to see who else needs to come. I keep forgetting. I'm like focused on the left side of my screen and keep forgetting to look to see that we have other people who are like waiting on me to join. Let them in. All right. Okay. Were there any other questions?
This is Carla. I have been promoting your virtual card making event coming up on the 19th.
Carly, you have to say our. You're part of the team,
Okay,
remember? Okay.
of course I'm the advocate over here for cards. I'm actually, you mentioned that you are struggling for donations right now. People aren't donating cash. They're just sending you cards. They forget that you have other expenses, right?
That's true.
So I'm actually texting with my people about whether or not there's anything that we can do about that. I don't know how that'll come out, but I'm definitely pushing for you. But on the topic of the November 19th event, I've been promoting it, and I was just thinking that I don't know what that looks like because I haven't done a virtual event yet. I kind of want to see how you guys are doing it and see if we can incorporate it over at the AMA. Are you gonna at that time maybe mention to people that you still need donations in addition to the cards?
Yeah, we will mention it there, and we mention it a bunch. We try to, post like our GoFundMe, and we're gonna post a bunch on social media. Like we talk about it a bunch because the big thing is like our number one expense, our most consistent expense, are shipping cards around the world.
Right.
That's something that we have. Like I'm about to, after this call, go visit my friends at the post office, and they'll give me a hard time, like, that's it, that was quick. They give me all these kind of little jokes because I only have a few packages today because I shipped the thousands at the other post office. But so that's our most consistent expense. But our biggest expense is how we're rewarding our partners for taking pictures, because it's like a longer process for them to be able to take pictures of the children. They have to get the families to sign off on the forms, and all because of like the HIPAA patient privacy. So in order to like inspire them to take those extra steps, we've been promising them to purchase the entertainment systems for them. So it's just this month, or sometime either today or tomorrow, I'm gonna be purchasing 3 more of those. So those are like $3,000 a piece. So that's
Each entertainment system is $3,000.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's trying to. And the thing is with those systems, it's rewarding. Our big thing is trying to, just like with all the cards, how they're delivered room to room, and making sure that the kids who are stuck in the room based on their medical condition are encouraged. So it's not just the kids who are in the playroom or the kids who can move around, but kids who are confined to the rooms are uplifted. It's the same thing with these cards, making sure that these cards are not just something that will stick in the playroom, but something that can be rolled, the TV, the video game system, and everything being rolled down to the children's rooms. So the kid who's confined to the room can have just as much fun as the child who's in the playroom.
Okay.
And this is all 100% biased, with this being Epilepsy Awareness Month, all stuck on my condition of having epilepsy and going through EEGs. So understanding of what it's like for those kids who are stuck in their rooms.
Okay. I'm making a note, and I'm definitely gonna have a conversation about it. I was just hoping that you could, because I'm inviting I don't know how many people are going to show up on the 19th, but I'm inviting everybody and broadcasting it to the organization. So I'm thinking that the more ears that hear it after, participating, the better chance we have. Anyways, so on the next note, I'm thinking, because I don't know what the 19th looks like, on the virtual event, people are going to be able to engage with you guys while they're making cards over the 2-hour period.
Yep. So we'll be there. We'll do a little introduction, and during that event, we'll be having. There's already something set up where people can do like a raffle, And that'll
Okay.
be the main way, like a 50-50 raffle for, because what we always try to do is do a little bit more. So it'll be a 50-50 raffle for half the pot, half the money, but then also, that'll be one winner. And then there'll also be a raffle winner for some vacation vouchers as well. So there'll be two separate winners for that.
Okay.
And then something we can do is if you're thinking like your team and some of the people that you're working with are going to be potentially raising money, like we can set you up with your own little fundraising site, and we can
Like from your website, from your Cards for Kids website?
yeah, well, not
Okay.
directly on not your own page on our website, but it will like set you up with your own little we have this thing where we can set up where individuals or teams, like we can set it up where you can have your own little place where if people donate on there, it'll all show up in one spot. And that way, if you guys reach that goal that we set up on there, you can have one of those entertainment systems donated in your name. And you would,
Okay.
pick the city, one at Chicago, Baltimore, wherever, and you would be the one to go cut the cord and, have it donated in your name.
Okay. So have you guys, I know this is maybe at some point, have you offered proposals to potential partners to raise money? Do you have something written already that maybe I can, because I see the opportunity right now, someone's emailing me. I see the opportunity to pass along a proposal. If we could be specific about what you're asking for, maybe if you have something written down, you're going to be obviously better at telling your story than I am. So I would love it if you guys shared something with me, because I would pass it off today.
Yeah, we do have some sponsorship packages. We do have those and if you do one of those sponsorship packages, you'll get your logo up on our website as well. So
we're already on the website due to the
you're on the
card donation.
You're on the participants page.
Okay.
And on we're gonna add like a special sponsors, like special thanks to that. That's gonna be another section as well.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. So so you'll send me a sponsorship packet?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. That's very helpful. So that's it for me.
Okay. There any other direct questions before we go through some of the overview?
I probably had, I don't know if it's so much as a question. This is Katie. I'm over on Instagram. I make cards as a hobby, so I wanted to start doing it. I've already started making cards, but I haven't sent them in yet. So I was thinking, in order to help with the like the shipping costs and stuff, I wanted to, and obviously I would do all of this, I just want to make sure it's okay with you, is to do like it's kind of like an Instagram hop where I get a bunch of other card makers involved, and then they post something about, hey, you can donate to this organization, or you can make cards and blah, blah, blah. And it gets kind of eyes on, make like a graphic or something, if I can use your logo and make something that, a bunch of people will see, over 20 or more people during a hop, probably about 20 people. Where they make a card to show. And then also I would have a video, like a YouTube video, and I would go over what types of cards you're looking for, because I know it can be kind of confusing. So I want to get really specific and make sure that people are making cards you can actually use.
Okay.
If that's something that would interest you, I would probably, somebody in the realm is doing a hop through the end of November and trying to raise cards for cards. Yeah, it's a card drive and donations for another organization. So I wanted to do it maybe in December after he's done with his.
Okay. So yeah, if it's because I guess with that's great, and you can just let us know the assets, or if you can pull them off of our Instagram page or off our website. We're definitely, there's some corporations and some of the people we're partnering with are made us sign legal paperwork that we wouldn't use their logo in any other place, and it's we're not like that. For us, it's sharing is caring, do the work for us, put our logo
Exactly,
out
yeah.
there,
No,
tell everyone.
I would love to do
Yeah.
all of that
But
for you. So
it's just for like, I think it's my main fear is if like you're doing this in December, then it's going to be, people are going to say like, oh, let's make holiday cards.
and I could do it in January. I'm happy to do that because I know I want them to get their Christmas card making out of their system, and they're probably going to be busy with that anyway. So I think January is a better idea.
Yeah.
And that would help you off, in the beginning of the year. So I could do it in January just fine.
Yeah. Cause that's what the big thing is, like people often make like, in February we'll make Valentine's Day cards, and it's like, don't really take into consideration the shipping
Yeah.
here and the shipping for us to ship them out and proof them. And so that's the kind of thing that we have to keep in mind. So if it is,
Yeah.
you doing it
So-
in January.
Yeah, I would be pushing, the generic cards, the non-holiday, like you said, cards that can be enjoyed all year round, and also for the donation part of it as well, just money donations or even signing up for a monthly donation. I already have that link, the donate link saved, and I have a link tree, which is the link in my Instagram bio, and that first one, I've already edited it, is to donate on your donate page, so I can just easily direct them there too. So I can do a whole thing, but I can do that in January, but I'll specify, what we're looking for, what kind of cards and things like that.
Yeah, and it's something where if you like, just what I was telling our coworker Carla here, is if you were thinking of how much, because it's with Carla, it's going to be something different, because if she gets more of her, AMA to do it together, then they'll can do more of a sponsorship package. But it would be, we have some individuals who've like gotten friends together and raised a certain amount of money and gotten like, if you did that, you could have one of these systems donated in your name specifically, so not necessarily a company sponsor, but we've had like one that's going to Denver, one that's going to Minnesota. Yeah, I think those are the only two that are like directly individuals, and it just says, the person's first name and last name on there. And so that's going to be on that system. So like kids going to play with it will know like, oh, this came from Katie. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, either that or just, making sure your shipping costs are covered and stuff like that. I don't need my name on anything necessarily, just want to help.
Okay, trying to be Miss Modest. That's cool too. Okay.
That's all, I think,
Okay.
for me.
All right. Are there any other direct questions from through just some of the overview background?
I was just going to say, back on the trading cards, I texted my husband. He said, yeah, you can't really sell those just because they were given to them. It wasn't something they purchased or something. So you can't sell them, but you can give them away. So,
Okay.
And then the other thing I was going to ask, I don't speak any other languages, but I did post something, any of my Italian friends out there, do I have any Italian friends out there? And I do have one or two, and I thought maybe they could just tell me, like if they don't want to make cards, maybe they could just tell me, show me how to write whatever, happy birthday or, thinking of you or whatever, that they could maybe, and then I could just do it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm going to send this I'm posting something in our chat on here. This blog post, if you look at that blog post that is in the chat box, that has a wide variety of languages in there. Part of them, some of them are from, like all the Italian ones are from our contact in Italy who set us up with the Ronald McDonald House in Italy. So she was on the Zoom call. She was the translator when I was talking to the Ronald McDonald House person in Italy. And, there's a bunch of different, all of our Spanish was the Spanish professor at DePaul, and, a bunch of different languages are on there. So if you're interested in making cards in other languages, you have a wide variety. Actually, some of the other Spanish, I think, was my high school Spanish professor too. So, you know, it's you got a wide variety of different languages that are in there if you're ever interested in making cards in other languages. Those ones, you know, it's a little bit more secure than simply using like Google Translate or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And if it is just trying to think of, you know, thinking outside the box, tired of the English ones that you've been using, then, you know, obviously we do have English on there as well. So that's a blog that is pretty pretty helpful in the background.
Okay.
I mean, it's interesting looking back at it, like that was back in the day when we only delivered just like a couple hundred outside the US and how things have grown since then. Okay. So we have a new person joining in. Were there any other specific questions before you went through some of the overview? I think I have a feeling who that new person is, but I don't want to say just in case I'm wrong. All right. You guys seeing my screen here?
Yes.
All right. So for this, we'll go through just some of our common questions that we get, providing some of the background of Cards for Kids. I think for these, skip through some of those, but these, we did, been getting a lot of similar questions, so we did add that frequently asked questions portion to our website that has some of these questions on there as well. But you know, still having these Zoom calls and still trying to figure out ways to get these questions out there as well. But this is the question that we're still getting consistently. So one thing we'll say, as long as we're active on social media, you know, as long as our website is up, you see, trying to keep it where it's 2 posts per day. But if you ever see a post on social media, you know that we're up there. We have it updates on our website and everywhere else that we are still active. You know, we worked with our partners, letting them know that all the packages will be coming in sealed Ziploc bags, and you know, we make sure that when we receive the cards here on this end, we don't touch them for at least a week. You know, there's some, what we say is we're always overprotective on this end, since we're working and reaching seniors and children with pre-existing conditions, etc. So based on that, we're overprotective and making sure that we're serving people the best that we can. People who are thinking of what's the full way they can get involved and seeing what are the, how they can help out the organization. So one thing is that a lot of people know about making cards, and that's one thing that is on there on our website and touch base the most, and what a lot of people are doing right now. We've been working and talking with a lot of people about using, like kind of what we're doing right now is using Zoom calls. Our main theme and the message that we're talking about right now is during this time of social distancing, people are working together to make a difference. And so encouraging people to use Zoom and send us screenshots of their Zoom calls that they're working with other people, just so we can say, like, you know, people are working together while they're apart. And that's kind of what we're getting a lot with the making cards part. But some of the other things that aren't happening as much is getting people to donate. That's what we were talking about a little bit before. And those are covering some of the things such as like postage and these portable gaming systems and, you know, shipping supplies. And then also looking for some of the people to do some of the behind the scenes, if there are people in the Chicago area, to prep cards for delivery. So thankfully we have working with another nonprofit next week who's going to help with some of the back end stuff. So you'll see a lot of, we'll be very socially active next week, or yeah, 2 weeks from now, because we'll have a nonprofit who's going to be helping us doing some of the counting and reviewing. They'll be doing all that from home. But if there's other people in Chicago who are willing to help with some of that, just reach out. And then the other main thing is we do have working with Facebook and working with Google. Both of those guys are going to be helping us, giving us some free advertising money, but that's still limited and not as effective as, word of mouth advertising. Dave and I are both in marketing. As you can see, Dave rocking the Cards for Kids shirt, Cards for Kids hat. All of that is great. Sherry's rocking the Cards for Kids shirt as well. So we have all that kind of marketing stuff that we're trying to put together, but none of that is effective as word of mouth marketing. People telling other people that this is something that they're doing and they recommend they do it as well. So if we could have more people spreading the word, that would be great. I've been trying to write some press releases, trying to contact, I wrote something about, I live 0.8 miles, I think is the official distance from the Ronald McDonald House Charity headquarters. And, I reached out and wrote something about how that is, let's see. Yes, t-shirts and hats can be purchased. Let's see. Dave, can you by chance, okay. So yeah, wrote something about 0.8 miles from the Ronald McDonald House Charity headquarters, and we're reaching Ronald McDonald House charities all around the world. Tried reaching out, sending an article about that, but that wasn't picked up by any of the newspapers around here in Chicago. So it's all about, only way that can reach out and get the word out about our organization is people telling other people. Let's see. There we go, reaching all around the world. So one of those, kind of what we're saying with this, not necessarily just foster homes, but we can say foster homes and nonprofits. Kind of that includes Ronald McDonald houses and all kinds of organizations like that that are helping children and families who are going through difficult situations. And then in terms of schools, what that is, shame the kind of difficult situations. But at first, one that we connected to was Sandy Hook in Connecticut after that school shooting. We actually have one of our volunteers who lives in Connecticut who's reaching out to them. So I guess this is the, I think she said 6-year anniversary, but I'm going to reach out to them to see how they're doing. And then we're also have some people in France who are reaching out about I think the teacher who was beheaded in France, to see about making a connection to that school. So, it's a shame that we are reaching schools, but for those that are from more tragic situations that are impacting the students, making special deliveries to those students to encourage them. And then some more of the consistent ones are with our hospitals, reaching to those patients and encouraging them, and then making a lot of special deliveries to patients' homes, letting those children know that they're encouraged, they're being thought of, telling them that they are VIPs or VIPPs, very important patients/peoples, and giving them an increased amount of cards. And then also a lot of senior living facilities and nonprofits. That's one of the ways that we've been expanding. With a lot of those, it's a dual partnership with those senior locations. They send us cards, and then we're making sure that we send them a lot of cards, especially right now during COVID-19, as a lot of us have been hearing how they have not been able to, impacting them a lot. seniors not being able to leave and go out as much. So we're working to send these seniors cards, working to send them a holiday card, or we could say a seasonal card, a handmade card they can keep year round, and then a bookmark. So that's something that we're looking to do with all of these senior living facilities that we're partnering with. Then another one of the common questions we get is like, are you able to sign off on volunteer hours? And this is something not able to do right now. So you can see with the bags under the eyes, currently stretched on time with running the organization and working and doing other things. You know, Dave being a full-time dad as well as working and all these things, as we're unable to take on additional things. So special thanks to everyone. This Q3, you guys will see it in a little bit. Q3 2020 was a record-setting amount of cards. We shipped out over 20,000 cards, or we received over 20,000 cards within 3 months. You know, so that is something that was amazing. So on the bright side, consistently growing and reaching people around the world, and this is all done on the side on our free time. On the negative part, for some of those people who are trying to do it, we unfortunately don't have time right now to sign off on volunteer hours. And then for some of the guidelines, or say rules and regulations, number one, trying to say getting creative or thinking outside the box as possible, trying to get people to make cards that these people who are reaching will enjoy and kind of hold on to. It's surprising, we hear a lot of the, you know, kind of 1 and 3 sticking together. A lot of the people who are reaching talk about like how they're holding on to their cards and how much they appreciate them. You know, seeing a lot of pictures of pictures and videos, and you know, parents reaching out talking about how they'll hold on to their cards. I'm not sure if you guys saw the Great Nonprofits video that we posted. There was a mother who was talking about the card for her child, but talking about how she'll hold on to it forever. So that's one of the things, is we, you know, talking about people getting creative as they want. And then another one of the reasons why we say use cardstock rather than construction paper, because that's something that holds on and lasts a little bit longer. But then the other thing is, with the middle part here, is uplifting spirits. So with this, you know, another thing, this being Epilepsy Awareness Month, calling this out, you know, thinking about my condition as well with epilepsy. If someone told me, you know, EK epilepsy, gave me signs that like, get well soon. Like, you know, we got epilepsy, yeah, it's not really going to change tomorrow, so thank you. You know, hang in there. So we don't really want to remind the people that we're reaching about their condition, but instead want to encourage them. So what I say, some of the things like, you know, people may not think necessarily a card that says like, stay strong, may think that's okay, but what we say is, instead of a request, like stay strong, want to give them a compliment. So instead of requesting for them, like stay strong, give them a compliment, like you're strong, you know, doing something like that. That's what our recommendation is. And then this one right here is a big one right now. All the time is, especially, it's a big, all the time. We wrote the blog post, it's a bit fuzzy a while ago, but now with coronavirus and trying to be extra sanitary, it's a major focal point now, is asking people to please avoid buzz balls and any kind of thing like that that could potentially carry some of the germs or anything like that for a little bit longer. Our main thing is working to make sure these cards are, you know, as sanitary as possible. because that's one of the things that we want to make sure, because we had a partnership with a hospital in Atlanta, but they just said, they're no longer accepting cards because of sanitary reasons. They cut down the guidelines. So I'm guessing it was other places were sending them cards that had these fuzz balls and other things like that. And this is insider information for you guys, but don't pass it on to other people who weren't here. But there's currently stuff in our story right now that was asking people, like, what do you think of, I don't know if you saw, like, what do you think of when you hear of ventilators and breathing tubes? That's the start, expecting people to say something like, COVID-19 or, something like that. But the whole point of it is supposed to be sprinkle glitter. That's going to be our response. And that was one of the hospitals, we've talked about it before, but one of our partners has said, like, no sprinkle glitter because that's something that can get caught in their patients' breathing tubes, and that's why they're really worried about it. And that's all inspired because of the floor right here when I was counting cards, and that's something thinking about, because a lot of people still use that kind of sprinkle glitter, and that falls off the cards and can get into the breathing tubes and ventilators. So a lot of hospitals can't accept those kind of cards. Okay. So this holiday cards, should we make holiday cards versus can we make holiday cards? Two separate questions. Should we make holiday cards? In my biased opinion, no. Can you make holiday? There's some people who are, like going through withdrawal and need to feel like less of a person. Like, okay, if you need to, if it's your fix, go ahead. Like Dave and I, we won't be upset with you if you make them and send them. It's just thinking about some of the things with the second part here, the whole, business mindset, supply and demand, knowing that I think one thing that I'll never get out of my mind, permanently imprinted in my head, is the ultimate disgusted. I can't do the face enough. If this wasn't being recorded, maybe I would, but the ultimate disgusted look on maybe an individual's face during one of my volunteer shifts when she opened a package of cards. When she opened a package at the hospital during one of my volunteer shifts, and it was a package of holiday cards. And it's the reason it was is just because they got so many holiday cards, and it was more like, more card, like, and it's just because, like, she was, I'll say like that, she was less than enchanted just because they got so many holiday cards over that quick period of time, because that's something people often do, and it's, for us right now, we've probably sent out over 2,000 holiday cards so far this year. And that's because a lot of people send us like thousands of cards and bless you, Katie, thousands of cards in like December 25th, after December. And so we take those and we're like, all right, we try to do our best to save them and hold on to them. And then we send them out the next year. So we don't think you should. We think it's better to make winter cards. So then if you get them, we can send them in January, February, or send them a little bit later, or make cards that, these little kids can save and cherish and put up on their wall. But, if need be, you can send them and you can hold on to them for the next year, or if you send them way early, we can maybe get them out in time, but that's our recommendation there. I think this this list here is something that's seems like it's always growing, but only needing cards in English, that's not the case. Need them in a wide variety of languages. Said them here, Italian, Massachusetts, but it's now officially having a partnership in Italy as well. So that Italy may be growing, because it's starting off sending them to one Ronald McDonald House in Italy, seeing how it goes, and then they're going to pass it on to like Rome and all the other, potentially all the other Ronald McDonald houses in Italy. So that Italy may grow up and rise even more. So definitely, as we expand and more places start to tell other ones, and the amount of languages could consistently increase. Then for this, another one is, this is a big, okay, I was about to turn my camera around so you guys can get a view, but I think I won't do that. But for this part here is like the different languages here, people making cards. It'll get a lot of times where people are making cards in different languages and just send them. And it saves a lot of time and is very helpful. If it is a card in, I don't even remember what languages those were, but there's a lot of distinct languages, and that's beneficial. But if you include some kind of note or post-it or anything identifying what language that is, that saves the volunteers a lot of time. Because there's some languages where you can't even type it into Google search to figure out what it is, because those keys aren't on the keyboard. Because first you get to type it into Google search, it takes a lot of time to do that for hundreds of cards. But then if languages that are just don't have the same keys, you can't necessarily do that. So including like a little post-it or something that says the language saves a lot of time. And then also including with now, we've always said it, but including it in a Ziploc bag to keep them safe. And then something that we had with one of our corporate partners that we're starting to think and that they did more, because they all made the same cards, and people just included their return address and didn't say anything about their group's name. That's something that we recommend that groups do, include some kind of thing where, during this time of social distancing, groups are working from home. And if you want all of those cards to be counted together, even though people are shipping them separately, just, writing the group's name and the return address, or including some kind of note in there, even though people are mailing them separately, that's something we definitely recommend. Because if we don't have anything in there that's referring to the group at all, we're just going to say, KDK from, where she's from, and that's how it's going to be, so that's one of the reasons why individual artists are way ahead of other groups. This is the address, recommending, instead of recording the address or doing anything, always checking our website, because we'll, if we ever move or do anything, we'll always update it on there. So everyone will have our updated address. Then emailing the pictures. And so the main thing is, for the pictures, we don't need pictures of the cards. Like that's what we're starting to get now, is people sending pictures of the cards. And our way of, we'll post pictures of cards once we receive them. That's how we confirm that we got them. So it's just for these is sending pictures of you, so Carla is going to be taking, a whole bunch of pictures from the AMA event. We can all trust Carla, so don't worry about that. She's going to get a whole bunch of pictures when they make their events, and they'll send it to this Make Cards for Kids. Or when they, people are doing video conferencing. I don't know if you guys have seen, but we've had a bunch of screenshots of people using the video conferencing. And so those are the kind of things that we send to this. But we don't necessarily need just pictures of cards, because our way of posting pictures of cards is our way to confirm to people that yes, your cards have been received and they've been counted. So, and another thing that we recommend is people to include your Instagram handle on there as well. And hopping to the next one here is, that's the way to be, you can for sure get a notification, is if you include your Instagram or Twitter handle when you send that package. Currently right now we're in discussions for ways to make it so there can be emails, working with setting up a system in Salesforce, and with that in place, you would be able to get an automatic email and all that, but that's still something that is down the road. We're setting up a system where there will be a newsletter sign up, so keep your eye out for that. You guys will be able to get newsletter updates about all the things that are taking place, but that's all something that we're working on down the road. The main thing right now is just, if you wanted notification, not just by following us, but to actually get a notification that your cards were received, and to get an idea of where they went in the future or where they went that week, just including Instagram or Twitter, those handles. And that way Instagram, or Twitter will give you an alert that you were mentioned in a social post. And it's that blog post, Solemnly Swear, was just all about how we promise that no matter what, no matter how big we get, how many cards we get, we will always post pictures on social media. So let me check. I saw there were 2. Okay. Okay. And has everyone had a chance to see those videos that Dave? Okay, first say that thank you to everyone for all that's been going on. It's been growing rapidly, and thank you. That thank you is from us, and then also from the people who've been receiving those cards. And did you guys get a chance to see those videos that Dave included in the link in the chat? Let's see here.
I had a couple last minute questions if you have a moment.
Yeah.
So I know that you had gotten a custom card from Jess Crafts. I follow her. I followed her for a long time. She's a card maker as well, I deleted Facebook for my sanity, but I don't know if that's where you only post if you need a custom card. I just have the ability to make, like, a great ability to make custom cards, and I would love to. I just don't know how to be informed, like, what you need.
Okay. Do you, with your cards, are they painted, or are they like?
They're a lot like Jess Crafts cards.
Okay.
And I am hook, line, and inker over on Instagram if you want to see an example of anything I do. I've messaged you a few times.
Yeah.
Can I just be added to your list of when you really need a custom card? Let me know. I'm happy to do it. Or
That's a great question. I'm available to do that as well.
Yeah, because it's more efficient with it. Let's see. Okay, hook, line, inker. I definitely, all about you, because thank you for your social accident and your time.
thank you for answering all my questions.
Yeah, we'll do that. Hook, line, inker. And are you part of the Facebook group?
I deleted it.
Yeah, sorry. I know, Katie. Sure, are you part of the Facebook group?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because it is, yeah, I'll keep that in mind, because it is like with some of our custom card, like you'll see there's going to be a little boy, I won't say his name until she posts it, but we have, been trained by being like working with large corporations and hospitals. I'm all like extra cautious with like names and like following any rule and regulation. But we had our artist make cards for some kids during my last trip. And I can be honest, during my last hospital visit. And so that's how it is. Whenever I go to an appointment that I know is going to be an inpatient appointment or a long one, then I go and I make cards during that appointment. And I have our artists make cards for those, because I'm not creative. So I like make a card, then I have the creative people make them cards so the kids have something cool to do too, or get something cool. So one of the mothers in the UK was talking about how great it was, and she was saying she would post a picture once her son was feeling better, was feeling good enough to take a picture. So we get a lot of those comments on how they enjoy it. It's just figuring out ways to do it. And I think we're doing it now through social media, but I think maybe we can, as we're growing. Dave, would you feel comfortable getting that email list together now, or would it be something where it'd be good? You're on mute, Captain. I mean, some people can read lips real good.
I'm so used to having my daughter in the background, so I keep it on mute. Yeah, I can definitely do that. And I just think moving forward, since there are a lot of people who are no longer on Facebook or Instagram, maybe that is something we move towards, is just sending out an email to people. So if you can give us your email address, then we'll create an email list. So when we need special card requests, we just shoot it out that way.
Do you want us to just give it to you right now, or?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, mine is 5959.
Or you can, if you want to type it to me.
Type it in, just because this is being recorded.
It's being recorded, yeah.
I don't think I've ever typed on here.
I'll send you a message, and then you should be able to.
I didn't mean to raise my hand, sorry. Chat.
I don't use Zoom that much, so I'm like, okay, I can respond to you.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, we're overprotective. We're like, this is being, so I'm going to, let me share my other screen.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
Oh, man. There we go.
Okay. And this is
Can't hear it. I don't know if anyone else can.
No, but I think I saw this though.
Mm-hmm.
Was it on something on Facebook or something? I think I saw it. Oops.
yeah, so that's one of our special deliveries, kind of what we were referring to there. Let's see. Okay, so were there any other questions or?
I probably have one more quick one. I have to hop off and then get back to work. But just really quickly, I've seen a lot of examples, so I'm probably good on this one. But on the inside of the cards, people are generally just saying like, from your friend so-and-so in, like I'm in Seattle. So your friend so-and-so in Seattle, Washington, like, is that enough on the
Yeah,
inside?
So are you saying, if they're saying like, from your friend Katie in Seattle, Washington, they're like,
Yeah.
it's best to include some kind of message, like making sure you sign, say something, like, because there's some people who are leaving it like blank and then
Yeah.
just writing like at the bottom. I don't know if I have anything right around here,
But you
but
just want to reinforce those same messages you're putting on the front. Like I made the frog cards and they say you're totally awesome, like totally awesome. And
yeah,
it's, on the inside you could say something similar or another message that doesn't say get well soon.
yeah, exactly. Like, some example, just reach, of course I have a card right around me, but something, card, just a picture, and just making sure there's like, it looks like it's complete is
Okay.
the main thing. Whatever you write, just so our goal is for it to be like, you completed this card completely for this child, for this senior, for whoever you're making it for, not like it's blank or
Not
someone
for
else
you
is
to
supposed
write in. Not your job.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I will go. I have to get back to work, but thank you. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I think I had all my questions answered. You want us to go ahead and send those trading cards to you then? Or
Yes.
did you get a hold, or Dave has my email now if you want to just let me, if you needed to discuss it further or something, or.
I guess, yeah, if Dave has your email, let us just
Talk about it.
talk about it real quick, and then let me think of following up with some of our partners, and then we can reconnect with you.
Okay, that sounds good. And do you want me to, I don't know how to write back to him now. Let me see, here it is. I'll tell him how many, or do you want me to tell him, like I have 200 of the regular Major League Baseball and then there's 3 or 4 per pack, or we also have Royals only ones. Do you want me, or you'll remember?
I remember. So it was the ones that were per pack are all of baseball, right?
Right. All the cards, all of them are baseball. There's one group of cards that are MLB or Major League Baseball, so that includes like all the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's another set of cards he has, which are only going to be Kansas City Royals. And
Yeah.
Kansas City Royals fans are Missouri and Kansas usually. So you can kind of just, if you have partners in those places.
You got a partner, because we work with people with all kinds of special abilities, and I know we have a partner in, I know we have a partner in Kansas City, and I'm not sure if that's the one who deals or connects with kids with psychiatric.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, yeah, I think that's our, 12 to 18. So that would be cool.
Okay, so you just go ahead and send them then, or?
Yeah, go ahead and
Okay.
send
Okay.
those ones, and we'll include those with our next shipment to them.
Okay, and then the other Major League Baseball ones, do you want those too then?
Yes, go ahead and send those, and we'll ship those. Okay. Start adding them on. So I think those could be good additions with it being around the holidays. We'll just send those as little extra gifts to our partners.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, well, great. Thank you so much for your time. Whoops, I lost you here. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Have a good week.
Thank you. Well, let us know if you have any more questions. We're here for you.
Yeah. You know what? One more question. What is the best way to ask you questions? I know you're really busy, and I've emailed before, and then I sent a message on Facebook one time. And what do you prefer? Is it like, can you just wait and do it when I'm Zooming each month, or would you rather? What's good for you?
Yeah, I think it is like if it is ideally, if it's, something like looking to see if it's on, because I think it's the most, if it's like a question that's on our website, seeing if it's on there, like looking to see if it's on one of those frequently asked questions part. And then the main thing is just like picking one, email or Facebook. Like you don't need to do both, just picking one, and then just making sure, understanding like it'll take a little bit for there to be a response.
Of course, yeah. And then if I do have in Illinois that might want to volunteer, would they like pick up stuff from you like downtown in Chicago in the city if they live in the suburbs or something, and then just deliver it back to you? Or
Yep.
Okay.
That's how. Okay. So how it usually likes to be, like, I think it would be great if they, because we have one where people are going to be volunteering remotely, where we're going to be doing it all together, because we like it to be someone who's, when they're doing it for the first time, to not be super, but be able to ask questions directly, just because it's like a more, we find like, you have to count the cards and check them, proof them, put them in separate things. Like, there's a lot of detail that goes into it, with our every card count. So it's best to do it with someone. So if they were doing it remotely or something, just making sure that we had a time to do it together. Just because the people who are doing it remotely on their own have done it,
They've been doing it, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So that would just be something where if it was someone who wanted to do it from home on their own, just making sure that we could set up a time for us to count cards, quote unquote, together, even if it was them doing it at home.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, hopefully I'll be moving back to Chicago eventually, and I'd be happy to help out.
I think Dave and I both agree Chicago's the place to be. So
exactly.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
That's where we're from, so we get it. So, all right, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Enjoy yourselves.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.